Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I'm your host, Willie Bragg. I'm back again. You just never know when I'm going to shop in, drop by and start jabbering away. I'm just spontaneous that way. But I'm glad to be here and to talk about whatever burning issues is on my mind at the moment, or whatever's on the news, or whatever current events happening, or a little historical niche that I care to share with each and every one of you, because that's what I'm here for. Um, I have often said with the pop singer, I'm going to start off by saying that I define new music as anything recorded after the year 2000. If it was recorded January 1st, 2000, then I don't know. I don't know. I would not know what is current at the moment, and that's kind of always how I've always been. And for some reason, I don't have. Well, daggone it, I really don't have it. Okay, I'll take care of that in a second. I was supposed to have photo up here, but I'm going to take care of that. But the point I'm trying to make is that when it comes to Taylor Swift, I really would not recognize her music if it smacked me beside the head. I would not. I don't. I actually. I'm going to find out what a Taylor Swift song is like between now and Friday. So you should go on the show, the Bragland show, that's co-hosted by Jimi Sunderland and myself. We talked about this past Friday, that I'm going to listen to 2 songs by Taylor Swift to see what all this hubbub is about when it comes to her music. Because I don't think I would I don't think I've ever heard a song by her. If I have, it was by happenstance, and I didn't realize it was being played. So she's caused a lot of controversy. I mean, I know what she looks like. And I know she's causing controversy. Right-wing activist Bridget Gabriel, whatever her name is, she basically complained that when Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th, that she had nothing to say about it. For some reason, they signal her out to want her to comment on the culture war questions of the day, or whatever hot button political issue. I don't know why they have gone after her. Okay, I know what she looks like, obviously. Never heard of any of her music. And I just know she's a well-known singer. That's all there is when it comes to Taylor Swift. She's been the target of attack by the right. Now, I don't think she's like a radical leftist or anything of that nature. I think she's probably some shit lib that the right's being triggered at by the moment. And this is what everything's reduced down to in this country: what an entertainer has to say about any given subject. And I honestly, I don't care. Honestly, the so-called Hollywood left, they're all shit libs. They're not dying-wool leftists, or most of them aren't anyway. As I said, I guess there are exceptions out there. There are, but for the most part, most people in the Hollywood industry, whether they're actors, actresses, they're pop singers, sports figures, or what have you, I don't really pay much mind to what they have to say, because although I have a happy-go-lucky demeanor about things, in spite of maybe just a little bit of doomerism in my commentaries, I don't rely on what Hollywood people have to say. I am a relatively serious person, and so what a pop singer or an actor, an actress, or a sports figure's got to say about any given subject, and if it's something I passionately agree with. I'm fine. That's cool and all of that. But, I really don't care either way. And the right wing will claim that people like me care about what a certain Hollywood figure or what have you would say when it's them. Because when it comes to the burning issues of the day, on the right wing, any right wing, country singer or sports figure or actor, actress, or what have you, what they have to say, they just parade it around like it's just you got to listen to what they say and all of that. And if you don't, you're out to lunch. Well, I think people on both sides are out to lunch if they're going to go listen to what a celebrity has to say on any given issue. Not that a celebrity on either side of the equation should be forbidden for commenting on anything. They got a right to comment on what they ever comment on. So, anyway, this is from Rolling Stone magazine. And I'm going to read you this article. I mean, most of y'all know what it's all about already, but I'm going to go ahead and indulge to get for greater context. Trump alleges pledge holy war against Taylor Swift. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's see. Taylor Swift hasn't even endorsed Joe Biden 2024 campaign, but Trump is already privately grousing he's more popular than her. Okay. Yeah. Don't care. Let's see. Singer-songwriter Taylor Swift hasn't even endorsed President Joe Biden for re-election yet. That hasn't stopped members of MAGA land's upper crust from plotting to declare, as one of their sources close to Donald Trump calls it, a quote-unquote holy war on the pop megastar, especially if she ends up publicly backing the Democrats in the 2024 election. What are they going to do? They're going to try to come up with legislation to stop her from endorsing anybody. She's got a right to endorse whomever she wants, just as someone like Chuck Norris has a right to endorse whomever he wants, or Clint Eastwood, or whomever. I mean, again, what does it matter? Other than to keep something going. According to the three people familiar with the matter, Trump loyalists working on or close to the former president's campaign, longtime Trump allies in right-wing media, and an array of outside advertisers to the ex-president have long taken it is a given that Swift will eventually endorse Biden, as she did in 2020. Indeed, several of these Republicans and conservative media figures have discussed the matter with Trump over the past few months. The sources says, while Swift has not yet issued an endorsement in the 2024 race, the New York Times reported Monday that Swift is a key name on Biden's aides wish list of potential surrogates. A potential Swift appearance at the Super Bowl alongside with her boyfriend, Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. Kelsey, is it Kelsey? Yeah, Kelsey, whatever his name is, has already prompted the MAGA right culture war pugilists into a conspiracy fuel froth about how the NFL season has been rigged to boost Biden. So the NFL's now woke, I guess. So behind the scenes, Trump has reacted to the possibility of Biden and Swift teaming up against him this year, not with alarm, but with an instant projection of ego. In recent weeks, the former president has told people in his orbit that no amount of A-list celebrity endorsements will save Biden. Trump has also privately claimed that he is more popular than Swift and that he has more committed fans than she does. A person close to Trump and another source with knowledge of the matter told Rolling Stones. Last month, the source close to Trump as the ex-president commented to some confidence that it obviously made no sense that he was not named Time Magazine 2023 Person of the Year, an honor that went to none other than Swift in December. Well, Okay. I do think it's a low bar to put Taylor Swift as person of the year because she's an entertainer. Other than that, whatever. I think you need to have serious people engage in policies, no matter what side of the fence they're on. That needs to be put on Time Magazine, if one must read Time Magazine. And I don't read Time Magazine if I don't have to. So um, there is that. And there's been people on Time Magazine's cover that I was just like, and in recent years and historically. So it's, to me, it's all about nothing. It really is. And just to see this Orange Frito get upset over it. I mean, I don't even suffer from the Trump hatred that some of the shit libs suffer from. I'm not pro Trump, but I don't suffer from it. But if there's anything that's going to take away from a very, very faintly lukewarm opinion of her, Taylor Swift, would be this tweet from that was deleted off of Twitter by Liz Cheney, former Congressman Liz Cheney. U.S. former Congressman Liz Cheney said, what did she say? She said, let me get that tweet out. Taylor Swift is a national treasure. And, just the fact that Taylor Swift is a national treasure being uttered by Liz Cheney tells me everything I need to know about Taylor Swift. I mean, and it's not her fault that Liz Cheney has something positive to say about her, but we all know why. Come on now, look at former Congressman Liz Cheney. Look at it if you have to. Liz Cheney basically is a fucking boomer. She's a boomer. And so why the hell would she be interested in talking about this national treasure named Taylor Swift? Is because of the Trump derangement syndrome that these people suffer from. It's not just a bunch of pink pussy hat wearing shitlib morons. You got the neoconservative Bush Cheney wing of the Republican Party, your Mitt Romneys, your all of these folks. They hate Donald Trump too. And in the case of the neoconservatives who used to be the toast of Rush Limbaugh 15, 20 years ago, and now they're the toast of MSNBC people. The thing about it, and CNN, the thing about it is with Liz Cheney and her ilk, I've heard that when she was a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, that she voted with Donald Trump 93% of the time. Mike from PA commented on that once, and he said that he bet that the 7% of the time that she voted against the agenda of Donald Trump was probably the 7% of the time Donald Trump had basically a left-wing position that she opposed. So, and that's not the soft pedal Trump, and I promise you that's not where I'm getting at. But what I am getting at is the fact that Liz Cheney basically, she's just an awful person. And the only thing she's ever been correct about was to denounce the January 6th insurrectionists, which I have a point of view on the January 6th insurrectionists. It's just, I don't feel the need to share it at this time. Is not really all that relevant to what we need to discuss, except for the fact that this is her way of basically wanting to go and get back at Trump, get him back for the wrong reasons. That's the thing right there. When the right hates on Trump, they hate him for the wrong reasons. So anyway, I have played this before, but I'll play it again because it's just great to play it, and that's Turncoat Don. Probably one of the best videos he's ever done. Right up there. If you don't know who Turncoat Don is, look him up. And if I get a little time, I'll put them in the description box below. But Turncoat Don did a video on Liz Cheney, and it's called "Shit Live Films Present Liz Cheney in Wonder Woman." So here we go. If you're ready for it, I am. So let's go and get ready for it. Great video by him, by Turncoat Don. In a second. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman. In your satin tights, fighting for your rights, and the old red, white, and blue.
Democrats prevail, we will not have an economic recovery. You and I know the damage Barack Obama has done to our beloved state and nation. In Congress, I'll lead the fight to reverse President Obama's devastating policies. Bernie Sanders, AOC, Joe Biden, they are advocating the quicksand of socialism. They will absolutely sink and devastate this nation. Representative Omar embodies a vile, hate-filled, anti-Semitic, anti-Israel bigotry.
I am strongly pro-life and I am not pro-gay marriage, said Cheney Friday.
I do believe in the traditional definition of marriage.
And I think that, the North Koreans and others around the world have seen that President Trump is somebody who's going to do what he says he's going to do, and he's going to keep his word.
I will do everything I can to ensure that the former president never again gets anywhere near the Oval Office.
Wonder Woman. You're Wonder Woman.
Waterboarding is not torture.
Waterboarding, she says it's not torture, but it is. But so is listening to Liz Cheney. So there you have it. I mean, and that's really what it comes down to. It comes down to this kind of irrational hatred and irrational from the right, because this is a right-wing critique of Trump. The only critique of Trump that has any merit is a critique from the left, not the shit libs, but from the actual left. And it comes down to this, and this is what I'm getting a little upset about: the rehabilitation of George W. Bush, America's worst president. I will say it again, and I will say it again, and I'll say it again. George W. Bush was America's worst president, at least the worst president in my lifetime. Anything after George W. Bush and anything before George W. Bush in my lifetime was marginally better than George W. Bush himself. And so Liz Cheney comes from that Bush-Cheney wing of the party. And her dad was the vice president. And the thing about it is, we're talking about a time when and Keaton Weiss and I had a discussion about this last week from Due Dissonance when he came on my show about when the real fascism began. The real fascism didn't begin all of a sudden from Donald Trump, and the road toward fascism is basically the time he came down from the elevator and made those horrible words about immigrants, which we agree. Those words that he said about immigrants were horrible. No, it kind of started. It was a slow trajectory. It started prior to George W. Bush becoming president. I mean, it was something that was slowly happening over the years. I will argue that it started with Ronald Reagan. I will argue it started with Ronald Reagan, and he pushed the country to the right. And then George Herbert Walker Bush, who was more moderate than Ronald Reagan, kind of kept that path on the right. And then Bill Clinton, because the Democrats lost in 1980, 84, and 88, decided to sound like just a slightly more liberal George W. Bush, George Herbert Walker Bush, and he made the country go further to the right. And then George W. Bush came in with, under questionable circumstances. He, you know, those people that talk about the election in 2020, you know, poo-poo on that. But you talk about somebody who's stolen cheated his way into the presidency, was George W. Bush. You talk about an illegitimate president. He was illegitimate in 2000 because of what happened in Florida, and he was illegitimate what happened because of what happened in Ohio in 2004. Never, ever forget that. He started the wars, the neocon wars in the wake of 9/11. 1 million people from Iraq died. 250,000 people died in Afghanistan. And that's a combination of the people from both countries and American soldiers that also died as well. And needlessly, because Bush had a score to settle with Saddam Hussein, who he did not have any weapons of mass destruction or anything of that sort. So basically, you had the USA Patriot Act, and then you ended up with the Department of Homeland Security spying on all of us. And then you had the torture program on Guantanamo Bay. And remember, Governor DeSantis was involved with that when he was in the U.S. Navy. So the point is that all this stuff was starting prior to Donald Trump becoming president. And when Obama became president in 2012, the National Defense Authorization Act, which was also a big overreach into people's civil liberties as well, where the government can actually arrest you and put you away as long as they like and don't have to let you out for any reason. We are sliding toward totalitarianism. And then Donald Trump tried to institute the Insurrection Act in the summer of 2020. And then you had Joe Biden with his Disinformation Governance Board, which thankfully fell. And I'm not a partisan hack. A lot of Republicans made a big stink about it. And look, a stop clock gets the right time twice a day. It's one of the few times the Republicans have been right about anything. And they were right about that Disinformation Governance Board. So thing about it is that we've had creeping fascism for a long time. But like Keaton Weiss said from Due Distance, when he was here last week on my show, it really, really started to look like fascism under George W. Bush. And you need to put that genie back into the bottle. I mean, and I don't know if it can ever be done, but the genie is out of the bottle. We need to reel it back in. And so what it comes down to is the liberals, you have Ellen DeGeneres who goes to baseball games with George W. Bush. The president who basically said that she shouldn't get married to the person she wants to marry because Ellen DeGeneres is a lesbian. And Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, he don't give a shit about whether gay people or lesbians get married. He really don't give a shit. I know he doesn't give a shit. He's indifferent toward it. George W. Bush may not even be the biggest homophobe in the world. But George W. Bush and Donald Trump has something in common, that they're in a party called the Republicans, and they got to appease to the religious right somehow. It's just that George W. Bush honestly appeased to them more in a lot of ways and was promoting the culture war bullshit. Liz Cheney, her sister is a lesbian, her younger sister. And she managed to not believe in gay marriage, and she's socially conservative. She's not like Marjorie Taylor Greene, retrograde, right-wing, authoritarian conservative, but she's conservative enough, too conservative for my take. But the shit lives have the Trump derangement syndrome. They think that Donald Trump is a bigger threat to freedom and democracy than Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney's position on gay rights is much closer to Marjorie Taylor Greene's than it is to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump's position on gay rights is, strangely enough, closer to, a middle of the road liberal. And here's the thing. It's people have lost their minds in the last, I don't know. I guess really, I've been noticing this for a long time. Maybe I paid too much attention to politics, but people just seem to keep losing their minds more and more and going against reason and going against any semblance of common sense. And that's a big problem in this country right now. So anyway, Taylor Swift, again, I haven't gotten a chance to listen to the two songs that she want me to listen to. Actually, I got my notes here. Let's see. It should be here. Let's see. Style and Shake It Off. So I got to go and find the song Style and Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. Listen to it. And when I do so, I'll tell Jimmy what I think of the song, Shake It Off and Style. So that's going to be my assignment between now and Friday for Braglands. But again, until then, I'm going to tell you all, and I've been busy in the last few days, but I'm going to tell you all, I would not know what a Taylor Swift song was if it tracked me down, pushed me down into the ground, and beat the shit out of me. But anyway, we have here on the chat line Desert Mantis. Hey, how are you doing today? Let's see. Good morning, Willie. Afternoon to you. I think you're in California. I think you said you were in California, if I remember correctly. So, and good afternoon. Good morning to you. I guess it is still morning over there. Let's see. We have here. I like Taylor better when she used to sing with Blondie. Oh, okay. I like Blondie, Debbie Harry. Yeah, I do. I've always liked Debbie Harry. I'll have to see what that's like. So anyhow, if you like what you heard, please press like and comment. Comment any ways you disagree with what I have to say. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Reject corporate media. Be sure to subscribe to the Willie Bragg Show on all my platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Rumble. And I don't use Rumble that much, but I'm planning to start using Rumble again. I know how to use it. It's just a little bit troublesome to set it up. It's not as user-friendly as Twitch and YouTube. I wish they'll fix that little problem, by the way. But I'm planning to utilize Rumble a little more. And I'm going to be checking into other platforms too. What else do I have to say is I'm going to conclude by saying free Julian Assange, free Palestine, free healthcare for all, and free speech. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.